Uh, Transfer of heat by radiation. Why do we feel warmth or hot when we sit in the sun or by heater? How does the heat transmit to the earth from the sun? Although there is a space between the sun and the earth, there is no solid materials medium between the sun and the earth beyond the earth's atmosphere, so the heat cannot be transferred by the conduction. If it is assumed that the heat transmits by the convection, then the heated air molecule goes upwards. Therefore, heat does not transmit from the sun to the earth by the process of the conduction or convection. In the above mentioned process, heat transmits through without any materials medium. Transmission of the heat without any medium is called a radiation. So we feel the warmth from the sun or heater through the process of radiation. Heat and light energy are emitted by the sun. Heat and light energy are transmitted in the form of waves. These waves do not require any materials medium, so the heat from the sun reaches the earth's surface without any materials mediums. The process of transmission of a heat without any materials mediums is called a radiation. In a vacuum, heat is transmitted by radiation waves. Ripples of the waters are formed with while throwing stones into the surface of a lake, and these ripples move towards the edge of the pond. It is called a water wave. These waves are formed when the molecules of the water rise up and down regularly and spread in all directions from the point of the disturbance. Water waves spread from the point of a disturbance to the extremities of the points, but the water molecules remains in their position. Like in the water, a wave is produced in a rope when we jerk its one end. Therefore, waves are produced due to the vibration of a molecule. uh, Mechanical and electromagnetic wave. Some waves require a medium of a transmission while others do not. Those waves which require a materials medium of propagation are called mechanical waves, and waves that do not require a medium for a propagation is called electromagnetic waves. A sound wave is an example of a mechanical wave, and a propagation of energy takes place through the vibration of a molecule. The materials which vibrates during the propagation of the wave is called the medium. The mechanical wave's energy decreases throughout the wave propagation as part of its is absorbed by the medium. Therefore, the transmission of a mechanical waves is limited to the certain range depending on the nature of the medium. The speed of a mechanical waves is different in different mediums. The speed of a sound in air, the water and iron is 332 meter per second, 1481 meter per second, and 5120 meter per second respectively in normal conditions. The light coming from the sun and the other stars reaches the or through a vacuum. In infrared radiation that carries heat cannot be seen by our eyes. Radiation is the process of the transmission of energy in the form of electromagnetic waves without any materials mediums. When these waves are transmitted without a material medium, energy in the wave is conserved. Electromagnetic wave can be traveled at the speed of light up to the large distance without any loss of the energy. From example, heat and light energy emitted by the sun traveled in the form of the wave at the speed of light 3 into 108 meter per second, and it takes around 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach the earth. Transmission of heat and electromagnetic waves by the radiation. Thermal radiation is the process of transmission of the heat in the form of electromagnetic radiation. Infrared radiation in the electromagnetic spectrum transmits through radiation. Heat energy is received by the earth from the sun by the radiation, and it does not require any materials medium because it can be traveled even through a vacuum at the speed of light. Effects of color of an object in the radiation of heat. Take a three equal sides of the box with lids in white, black and golden colors as indicated in the installation. Make a hole in them the same size as the thermometer's probe. Then insert the thermometer in the holes. Keep these containers in the sun of equal duration of a time. Which color box has the highest temperature record on the thermometer? Observe the record heat. White or pale color things have poor heated observing and heated imitating capabilities compared to the black colored items. Therefore, dark colored hot objects emit more radiation, whereas white or pale colored objects emit and observe less radiation. While colored clothes are usually preferred and warm in the summer and hot places, whereas black and dark colored clothes are suitable in the winter and cold places. Therefore, the inner surface of the solar heater is painted with a black color to absorb more radiation coming from the sun in the order to absorb more heat, cook food more quickly and conserve fuel. The exterior surface of cooking tools is frequently cooked with black materials. कोई ये तो पढ़ना structure and function of a thermos flask. Take a thermos at your home and observe its interior by opening its lid. What is the inner part of the thermos made of? It is a surface thick or thin. Does it transfer heat or not? How does it work? Answer this above question by looking at the structure of the thermos and find the information related to the thermos with the help of the internet. Collect on the necessary information from the internet and present in the class. Thermos flasks keep hot liquids hot and cold liquids cold for the long time. It consists of glass vessels with double walls. The glass vessel is encrusted by the metal and or plastic covered of protection as is damaged. The space between the walls is a vacuum which reduces the loss of heat due to the conduction and convection. The outer surface of the inner wall and the inner surface of the outer wall are silvered, shining. The shining surface reduces the loss of the heat due to the radiation, and insulating stopper is used to close the mouth of the vessel. The vessel is kept over an insulating cork. It is therefore thermally insulated. Heat does not escape or enter easily in the thermos, so the hot liquids remain hot and cold liquids remain cold inside the flask. Greenhouse. Have you heard about artificial greenhouse? That what is the importance of the greenhouse in our daily life? What will happen in the greenhouse? Gases were absent from the approximate discourse. A greenhouse is a house made of a glass or plastic on a metallic frame. It is mainly used to grow off cellular plants and vegetables. This much for today.